Welcome to the High Tea Podcast. We're your hosts, Mel, Kel, and Kay, where we sip and speak on what many are thinking but are too shy and not bold enough to say. So buckle up, grab a glass, and pinkies up. Now enough stalling. Let's get into the show.
Hey! Hi.
Hi.
How y'all doing?
Hello.
Good. It's another Monday recording session.
Yes.
Another Monday.
Thank you.
We need to come up with like our own individual theme song for Mondays.
I know, right? It's becoming a theme.
It's a whole vibe. It's a whole
Mhm.
different vibe. Well, in a true Monday recording session fashion, let's get this done, ladies. You know, this is going to be... Season 3's been chock full of surprises, y'all.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of improvisation.
And you know what? I take it that we are just pivoters and we make shit happen, okay? So, in the spirit of making shit happen, we gonna talk about big dick energy.
Oh, there we go.
I love BDE. It's one of my favorite things in the world. Speaking of semi-toxic, our social media moment, of course, we have this week, which I can't wait to roast some folks, but you know, whatever. And speaking of roasting, I'm just going to name this second topic that always happens in these situations. I'm just going to call it, not trademarked, but this is our gossip girl moment, okay? This is our second topic today. So I'll let these ladies get into that later, but let's get ready, y'all. So basic energy. For those who don't know, let me tell you about my best friend. To me, I love a good BDE moment because I can flex on motherfuckers. And I love to have those moments because it's usually people who deserve to be flexed on because they're fucking assholes. It's my favorite BDE moments.
Amen.
Love a good upper hand. What would you ladies define as big dick energy?
Somebody that just comes in and commands a room without having to even speak. Like, no cockiness involved. They just show up and they're great. You just know that you need to stop and stare.
Right. Like you can feel their confidence just illuminating.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
It's such a turn on.
Sure is.
Yeah.
Me and Kelly, I love you. Okay, so what are the ingredients to a good BDE personality?
I feel like there's a swag that also comes with BDE.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You have to be a certain type of person to portray it without having to like verbally say you have big dick energy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's usually a person that just comes in a room, like they can just smile and everybody's like, who the fuck is that? Or you can just sit a certain way and someone's just like, I want to cross my legs too.
It's the Olivia Pope of energies.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think like an definite ingredient to that is not to toot our own horn, but y'all need to go back and listen to the How Not to Give a Fuck episode. Because you want to know how to get to this point. That's it. That's on the list.
Literally.
When you stop giving a fuck about other people, yeah. No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm all good. Like, what you want? Oh, no. We're not doing that today.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I was just going to add that another ingredient to BDE is you kind of just influence people without even trying. Like, simply being your authentic self directs the whole movement and flow of the conversation or the environment that you're in, and it just comes off.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a feeling and a flow that just happens.
It's the aura and confidence of seeing that person can flawlessly be themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So genuinely, it doesn't even feel like they're trying.
Right.
Yeah.
So the way they talk, the way they present themselves, the way they just everything, it just seems like straight up confident.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I want to add to what you guys are saying too is that I sometimes I do see that people get BDE confused with being the loudest person in the room, and just because you're the loudest person in the room doesn't mean you have BDE.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that small dick energy people are the ones that are usually the loudest in the room.
Oh, of course, they're overcompensating for what they don't
It's
have.
Napoleon.
Yeah, exactly. Because when you have BDE, you don't need to command attention vocally. You can just walk in and people realize it, or you can just be sitting there already and people notice you out of nowhere.
Yep.
Also, it's not to be confused with cockiness, because cockiness does not mean you're confident. It just means you're loud
and full of shit.
About whatever it is you think you should about, and you're not. But, yes, no, I completely agree. And I think to that, an ingredient of having good big dick energy is really self-analyzing yourself. So having your regular check-ins, and I don't mean like overthinking and degrading yourself. I mean like every couple months being like, "Hey girl, how you doing? You seem a little low right now. What we need to do to get you up?" Like you got to check in with yourself to like make sure that you're feeling fulfilled or happy, or if something's wrong, like figuring out if there's a way to fix it. How can we fix it to get you to be feeling like yourself? Because you can't have big dick energy if you don't feel like yourself.
Definitely.
I also think we've talked about this before repeatedly, making sure you're not comparing yourself to others.
Yeah.
And reminding yourself that you are your own competition. I talked with my girlfriend the other day, and we were both talking about a specific topic, but basically the topic was just how we both carry ourselves. We hold ourselves to a certain standard. It's not about anything else. It's not about the parameters that are set for us or the numbers of markers we have to meet. It's about the level of service we expect for ourselves in working with people.
Right.
So I'm not getting upset because so-and-so said I'm doing bad. No, I'm upset because I know I did bad. For what I expect from myself. No offense to my bosses. I don't always care about their approval if the job is getting done. But if I'm doing something wrong, I want to know so I can fix it.
And I think that's another part of it too, because that just makes me think about accountability. Like, if you're a person with confidence, you're able to take accountability for your wrongdoings instead of just holding people accountable alone. Because I do find people doing that a lot, where they'll try to make other people accountable for their actions, but are so hypocritical about their own.
Oh, yeah.
And I also do think that people who do exhibit big dick energy are very agreeable people with disagreeable attributes to them as well. Because I don't think you can only be an agreeable person without being disagreeable in certain situations as well. But I think there's just a limit on how to do it.
Respectfully.
And exactly. And knowing how to pick and choose your battles and knowing when to just like shut down a situation, especially if you know it's going to get heated, and not needing to have a pissing contest with everybody. Because that's one thing I find a lot of people who think they have big energy, but they don't. They love to have a pissing contest because it feeds their ego to make them feel better about themselves. And if you have to destroy another person to feel good about yourself, yeah,
you're not a good person.
No.
Yeah, and you're not good at what you do.
Absolutely not.
So I talk about that with my team. And this is not just at this place I've worked, in other places I've worked. Being a good leader is not just about knowing how to do the spreadsheets and look at the expenses and do the invoices and inventory and all that shit. It is also you're managing people.
Yep.
And time again, we see different types of leadership styles. and they start to become just boxes that get checked. which one are you? Oh, you're the warden who thinks they just gonna rule over the prison that they walk around and don't actually, know any of their people's names.
Mm-hmm.
Just another cog in the wheel. Got it, boss. Understood. So there's people like that think they have big dick energy. No, they're Napoleons. They're just reacting. They're just doing things that they think would show power and dominance, and not just learning how to talk to people.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, there's just one thing that's true about what you're saying is when people retire or they leave a job, they're not leaving because their work performance is never good or it has never been good. They leave because of interpersonal relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And that's from the higher up, and that's just from coworkers. If you cannot be with people and you don't know how to interact with people on a managerial level or just in general, people aren't going to stand for that. And if you're putting out your insecurities where you have that LDE or the little dick energy, that's going to affect everything.
I've watched it literally destroy a work environment. An environment that in normal circumstances would never had such low turnover and actual high camaraderie.
Mm-hmm.
And watched it go from that to high turnover, unhappiness, toxic work environment, like people dropping like flies, and not just, it was everybody from staff to managers, everybody.
Yeah.
It takes one dark, evil presence to spread the nasty.
Yeah, no, I agree, because even though I don't work in hospitality, I still work in a people-centered field. So even in the field that I'm in, like, you see people dropping like flies as well, because if people don't feel appreciated or people don't feel like they're being compensated properly or being treated properly or even being heard, people don't want to work for you.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time people take that how do I put this in words? Employers take that for granted. Like, people want to feel heard. People want to feel respected. Like, it's not just about you. You can't run a business without employees.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not to say everybody's opinion matters, because that's not what we're saying.
No.
Because everybody's opinion doesn't matter, because people just like to talk.
Yes.
Let's be very clear.
Hear their own voice.
Right.
Yeah, I'm good off that. But if an employee of 5 years is coming to me and talking about, oh, I'm seeing these changes, I'm seeing this happen, I'm seeing that happen, these are some actions I think we need to do to fix this, that is a person you want to listen to and take their information and use it. Instead of taking that information as a criticism that you're not doing your job, because that's the type of personality they are, they take it as an attack instead of just advice and betterment, because that person cares about the environment they work in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So don't confuse the glorious BDE for classic asshole.
Yeah. And I do sometimes think that at the same time, like, there is insecurities that people have to work on in order to get to that point of transcendence in person. I guess that's the best way to put it. I feel like it's a transcendence, like it's a move up stage in life.
It's a stage in your life where you have
to get comfortable with yourself.
You have to get comfortable with yourself, and you have accepted a lot about yourself that you never did before.
Exactly. Like, for me personally, like, I know that I'm not the prettiest bitch in the world, but I don't think I'm the ugliest bitch in the world either. So it's just like, and that's kind of where my BDE rests. Like, I don't literally sit here and measure myself against other women. Like, I know that I have attributes to me physically or mentally or in my personality that are unique to me, and I don't measure that against myself. Measure that against other women, because it's stupid to me in a way. Like, and one thing I've always said, and you both know this, I have a gap in my teeth, and I had the option of fixing this gap for years, and I've never done it because over the course of time, like I've learned to love my gap and accept it for what it is. So now at this point in my life, if I fix it, it's going to be weird because now I'm just like, I don't smile and I don't have a gap anymore. That's weird. This is my trademark. This is who I am. And I still pull niggas with a gap. Like, don't get that shit twisted. You don't need straight teeth to be pretty. Like,
first of all, you don't need. First of all, to get a man is not hard.
It's not hard. Y'all just make it very hard.
To find a good man who checks the boxes you need, that's harder. That is harder. I agree with anyone. Yes, that shit is not easy.
And that's kind of where the learning your insecurities and working past your insecurities and gaining confidence within those insecurities come into play. Because you can have your insecurities. Because trust me, we both got meat on our bones.
Hella meat.
We got guts that jiggles. We got thighs that rub together. We all know what our insecurities are, but we're not gonna let that stop us from propelling in life. That doesn't make any sense.
That's a hell no for me, dog.
Right. Like those are physical things you can change over time.
So I'll never forget, I went to dinner with a girlfriend, and at this time I was probably the smallest I ever was as an adult. And Kishana knows.
Oh yeah.
This time frame, because
don't make me say it.
I have a big ass head, and I was so skinny. And even though it wasn't even skinny, because even my dad was like, "Melissa, you've never been skinny." It was the skinniest I ever been, and my bobble-headed ass was thinking I was the cutest shit walking. And I talked to her because she was someone who was like trying to like work out and do better for herself.
But you were still cute, even with your big old head.
I never said I wasn't. I said I felt like I was the hottest shit ever. I really did. I thought I was fly as a motherfucker. My hair was flourishing. Life was good.
Don't make me post them Halloween pictures.
Life was good at this point. Like I was very much accepting who I was as a person. So I told her during dinner, we were talking just casual bullshit, and I was like, "Listen, I've lost weight. I've gained weight. No, there's no difference in how many men you pull. It just, the only difference is you get more options when you become smaller, but they're the same equal level of shit options. Yeah. It is. There's no, you don't get a better quality of man when you become skinny. No. If that was the case, fat women who are hella married with kids and good lives would not be having that. So you got to live your life and you got to walk your walk, and who you're attracted to is who you're attracted to. And you're going to find that person if it happens or when it happens. Live your life either way.
Yes. And for the most perfect Big Dick Energy song in the world, this is from my favorite white girl. Her name is Queen Herbie, and she has a song called BDE, and it literally illuminates it.
I'll say, man, you better cut this out. Don't get us shut down.
Huh?
I said you better cut this out. Don't get us shut down.
What are you talking about? I'm not playing anything.
Oh, I was supposed to be like, bitch, don't.
No, I'm just saying, because they reminded me of that song.
I was like, I cannot handle a copyright suit or whatever the fuck it is.
Girl, you know I ain't that dumb.
I said to say it.
No.
It is Monday.
I ain't got that much BDE. I'm good.
Girl, you know I'm not that stupid. I gotta edit this shit. I'm gonna sound fucking terrible either way.
Oh my god.
Yes, but that song radiates BDE.
Okay, so I want to make sure we given some balance to this, because BDE is great, but there are some pros and cons, and there's definitely moments where it just goes completely wrong. Like, that's why we like watching Wildin' Out, because motherfuckers get their ass roasted. And you just gotta accept your defeat and walk away and come back and hopefully get the next motherfucker. If not, we're still gonna laugh. That's just the truth.
Yes.
I also think hip-hop beefs are like BDE gone wrong. Like, y'all need to chill.
Yeah, you can't be calling people out. You must be stupid. Like,
there's too much shit going on in the world. Like, y'all be wilding with these beefs.
Mm-hmm.
Unless y'all meeting each other in the streets, shut up.
either you fight or you shut up. Like
That's the real BDE. It's either you pull up or you shut up.
Like I don't have. How do y'all have time for that?
That's
exhausting. What's that saying? Talk shit, get hit. Like if it ain't one of those, shut the fuck up. Like, so what's that?
Like I think that's where I started like really checking my pettiness at the door to be like, hold up, am I really about to fight a bitch? Right. No, I'm not about to fight that bitch. I don't give a fuck no more. Like that's why y'all don't see me mad, because I don't have. Who got the energy and time for that shit?
A lot of people.
I don't. You got the wrong bitch.
Like I used to sit here watching people when we were younger engage in like Facebook beef, and I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
See, but the difference is in my high school, when I saw Facebook beef, that means the next day there was going to be a fight.
Like, let me tell you the amount of times I've had to like pull up with a friend just in case, like come on.
Nobody got time for this. Like, that's the reason why I get hype about time today, because bitch, sometimes I do have the energy, and I hope the motherfucker would.
But like me, I'm a lover. I'm not a fighter. But if I have to fight, I'm a fight. But I don't want to fight. Like, but in the situation, if like you have a friend, especially in high school, like I had a lot of trifling ass friends in high school that used just to talk a whole bunch of shit. And I'm just like, seriously, you're going to talk shit and you're going to get jumped. And now I'm going to have to come through and help your dumb ass out. Like, seriously, like, I don't want to see you hurt.
That's one thing you've never had to do for me.
Oh, but trust me, if I had to, I would pull up on bitches. Don't even worry about it.
I never had to be like, yo, Keish, we might need to roll up on a bitch. Like, I've never had to do that to you.
Yeah, no. Thank God we never had to do that for each other. Because I was one of them bitches where it's just like, I'm going to let you talk your shit. But if you touch me, that's a whole other story.
Listen, I stayed out of all the drama.
That's right. That's one thing my brother has taught me. You don't touch people unless they touch you. He's like, let bitches talk their shit. But then again, I don't think anybody physically wanted beef with me growing up because of how I looked. And I played a lot of sports in high school, so I don't think anybody wanted that heat. And that's fine, because I had a great high school experience because of that. And that, my friends, is BDE.
I talked so much shit in high school, no one gave a fuck. No one was trying to fuck with me. It wasn't worth it, because I don't have patience, and I will call you out. Especially in high school, my mouth was loud. And I was hella ratchet.
I don't think you were that ratchet. You were like on the cuffs of being hella ratchet, but
it was my ratchet. This is the closest that I was ever ratchet in my life, was during high school times. My bitches were crazy. I was good. I was perfectly fine in my BDD happiness. But the cons of BDE, in my opinion, is like because it comes in waves. It's not a constant thing. So let's not confuse things. Like BDE is a moment in time for you. It is not a every day is roses and peaches and butterflies. No, bitch. Life still is shit. So when that confidence goes away and you have to remind yourself that you're like stressed and all the other shit, and you're like, fuck, like, why am I like this? And you're like overthinking and just deep diving on yourself, and you have to remind yourself that you're a human and you're not perfect.
Yeah.
That it's okay.
I think it's a time and place for it. Like you said, it's not a every day I'm living like this every fucking day of my life.
No, you're being
right.
I'm just saying.
But I think it's like a situational thing. Like, let's say you have a work presentation. That's when your BDE should be showing.
Yes.
That's when you should be exuding the confidence that you did this project correctly and you did your presentation well.
Where my weekly recommendation the other week, being prepared gives you real big BDE.
Yes, it does, because you know exactly what you're talking about. You know all your talking points. You hit all the marks. You checked all the boxes that your presentee was looking for. You're good.
Yeah. Especially when you can do it in a timely fashion to where you can make sure you look good too. Yeah, that's the big thing. I just feel like it's definitely just reminding yourself, like, you're no matter how good you feel about something that you've done or a situation you just came out of, you just have to remember that it's a moment in time. Celebrate your wins, but look, don't let it take you over. Because if not, when that confidence goes away, it's gonna be a rough ride.
Mm-hmm.
Because that shit's gonna feel like heartbreak
Yes, it is.
every time, and I don't have the energy for that shit either. Um, what about y'all? What are some cons that y'all have seen with BDE?
I think I kind of said it in the beginning where people confuse it for being end up being cocky and condescending.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think BDE means that you need to be an asshole to be it. And I think that's where it goes wrong for a lot of people, where they think they're exerting big dick energy, but no, you're just being an asshole.
Yeah, you're just being a dick.
Yeah.
Nope, I agree. People are wild. Sorry, I can't
Yeah.
get over how crazy this world is right now.
Yeah.
Sorry. I think one of the last cons for me is, unfortunately, there's someone always, always, there is someone who will try to want to take advantage of you being nice when you're not in full BDE mode.
Mm-hmm.
You're just being a nice or just semi vulnerable person for a second. And there's always at least someone who will take advantage of that.
Mm.
And you either got to check that person or you might get taken by that person in a non taken sense. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's a fucked up shit for me.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What are some other pros that we haven't got to go through?
I feel like I said the ones that I can think of, or the ones that I feel are most important.
I think for pros, you just self-validate yourself. You don't need anyone else's opinion or comments towards you. You can just do it yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most important thing in life in general.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, it also that confidence, like we said, it exudes off of you, so people question you less most often.
Yep.
There's
Yeah.
always one motherfucker, but most often people question you less. What about? Well, of course, the feeling of just being that, confident. I got this, motherfucker. Walking down the whatever. It's a great feeling, but it is also very fleeting. So just ride the high and let it go down. Just it's okay. It has to end. Sorry, Cinderella. It has to end. Well, anything else for big dick energy that you want to put in your manual of how you got here story?
Just own yourself. That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Own that shit.
And just understand that your dick ain't always gonna be big, and that's okay.
Average size ones are great.
Every dick shrivels up.
Right. It starts to shrivel up and your balls start hanging. So it's okay. It's life.
It's all right, baby. We still accept you.
As long as you've accomplished the things that you want to accomplish in a humane fashion.
Hoping. All right. So our social media moment this week. I think this is toxic as fuck. Ugh. So it's a meme that was posted. I'm assuming from the looks of it on Twitter, and it's just a chain of just toxicity.
Yes.
So, and this was Bright and Beautiful and Bridal that posted.
They're priceless.
This. So, the meme, it says it's a man looking at you with a little cute smirk. It's the guy from Falcon, Marvel, just putting out there. And he's like me at her birthday dinner after everyone told her not to take me back again. all the toxic. And someone replied to it laughing my ass off with a bunch of fucking oaths or whatever bullshit. But I just love the reactions after. And I can see that person just sitting there with the biggest big dick energy, like, y'all motherfuckers thought you won.
But you didn't.
I won this bitch. Literally. Come how you doing? Especially the one where it was like me showing up late.
Yeah.
Like, hold up, not that walk. Like, these reactions are everything that I needed for my toxic fulfillment of the week. But also, I've been that friend in the room looking at that motherfucker.
Oh, I've been that friend many times.
And all I want to do is choke somebody. And it just reminds me of why I don't need to go out. Is that fucked up?
No, it reminds me of why I tell people, why are you telling me your woes and coming for me to advice and spilling your tea to me if you're not even gonna take in a fraction of it or realize the cycle? Like, this is what you like. Leave me out of it. I don't give a fuck.
You chose this shit. Leave me alone.
Right. I think that's my catchphrase.
You chose this shit, bitch. Bye.
And what will Kishana say? I don't give a fuck.
That's all I gotta say about it. It's just toxic. It's just, if y'all need some toxicity in your life, you're welcome.
But you know what the funny part is? That Negro loves showing back up every time. I think he does it on purpose too, where he comes back.
He sure does.
Especially at a major event.
Beepers might not be a thing like they used to be, but those motherfuckers have beepers. And as soon as a bitch gets happy, that shit goes off.
As soon as a bitch gets happy. As soon as a bitch has an event that's going on.
He's right there popping up.
To let everybody know I ain't going
I'm still in this bitch. I'm still in here. Literally. Still in here, B.
There is no girl code. There is no girls before bros.
Just come get this dick and she'll be alright.
She dickmatized. Because no, they have to show up and let the friends know I ain't going nowhere.
And in case you think I was, let me correct you.
Let me suck face with this bitch all night just to show you.
Yup.
Oh, Lord.
Then it becomes a ludicrous song.
What do you expect?
Toxic.
Fucking toxic.
Toxic as fuck. This is why I'm good off of all of it. All right. Well, I think the toxicity is about all I can do today. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm tired. Last week was a hell of a week, as I feel like I keep saying every damn week now. So over adulthood. Mm-hmm. Take me back to high school, 7th grade. I don't even give a fuck at this point. Just take me back to when I didn't have to pay bills.
Right.
Yeah. So, speaking of super stressed out, let's go ahead and get into these weekly recommendations so we can shut this sucker down. And for those of you who don't know, our weekly recommendations are just anything that we think will help improve your life, whether that be music, movies, advice, whatever, TV, all the things. So, ladies, I'll go ahead and just start mine off. So, since we're talking about BDE, the other side of BDE is, at least for me and my personality, is that imposter syndrome. Plus, life making things very overwhelming and stressing, me the fuck out. Yeah, that imposter syndrome kicks in hard. So, when I feel like this, once I realize what's happening with myself, I stop and I need to reorganize. I need to clean up shop. Because once things start getting off the rails for me, I stop doing the protocols and things that I normally do to keep myself in check, because I think it's wasting time instead of me getting to the chase. But in fact, it keeps me sane, and I need to stay on track. So when you're feeling overwhelmed, this might help. You just need to stop and reorganize, get a list, get a timeline, get a this, get a that, write it down,
and figure out a game plan. Wow.
I like that one.
Real shit.
Who'd like to go next?
I'll go next. Mine is actually a safety item, and I was watching this YouTuber who's a flight attendant, and she's always going on layover. She stays in hotels, and what I thought was so interesting and what I never thought about is the safety aspect of it. You never know who's walking those halls of hotels, and even if you stay in an Airbnb. So she recommended a portable door lock security system. And basically what it is a metal and plastic type of utility item, but it's very easy to install. It goes into the crevice of where your door and the lock mechanism goes, and it basically prevents somebody who's on the outside to get into your door because of the way that it's put together. So I have brought that with me, and you kind of feel safer, especially if you live alone or you're traveling alone. That's just another way to add that security to your sleeping habit. That way you just know that nobody's gonna barge in, steal, do anything dangerous to you in the middle of the night. So I think every woman should actually have that.
Is real.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is definitely an uncertainty when you stay at a hotel and you're like, is somebody gonna come in this bitch in the middle of the night?
Right. Someone has the master key.
Not someone, a lot of people.
Yeah, that's true. Everybody.
Sorry to burst. There's some hotel and restaurant secrets that I will never share, but let me be very clear. They have a lot of master keys.
That thing be jangling.
Terrifying. That is awesome. I love that. Thank you, Miss Kelly.
Yes.
What about you, Keish?
All right. So my weekly recommendation is more of an advice or a PSA. Because I've noticed this even more, especially with the COVID vaccine conversations and stuff like that. I'm so tired of people infringing on other people's mindset. Like, let people make decisions for themselves. And if we're not okay with the decision people wants to make, stay the fuck away from them. Unfortunately, we can't force people to change their minds. And unfortunately, we can't force people to change their ways either. I think it's just something that I've just come to accept. And I just stay away from people that I feel that is a danger to myself and the people that I love. Because I honestly feel we're going to kill ourselves faster by trying to force people to be like us and think like us and do what we want them to do.
That's so true.
Because if other people want to put their lives in jeopardy, let them. Let the assholes kill themselves off. Do everyone else a favor. I understand that's kind of fucking cynical.
Oh.
That's why I don't tell people how to live their life. I don't give a fuck.
Hilarious.
But that's fine. Stop giving too much of a fuck about what everybody else do in their lives. As we always say, if they don't pay your bills, they don't feed you, they don't fuck you,
mind your fucking business.
Why do you care so much?
As soon as you start to get revved up about somebody else's problems, that's the point where you just got to shut that bitch down. You're like, wait.
Right, like you need to push brakes on yourself and reevaluate yourself in that situation.
So I'm giving you advice. You're not listening, and you're gonna carry on and keep living your best life. Oh, okay.
Okay, no problem.
All right, have a good day.
I don't give a fuck.
Thank you for telling me.
I'm gonna do my shit in this corner. I'm good.
All right, I'm gonna follow my own advice and go about my business.
Right. You like to gamble. I don't. So do your thing.
Shit. I don't even like to fucking go to the casino.
Right. I only like to go to the drink.
Like, I'm good, dog.
Free drinks and all I gotta do is sit at a slot. No problem.
I'm good, B.
Yeah.
Oy vey. All right, y'all. Well, yeah. Mind your business. That's it.
Yes.
Just mind your fucking business.
Yes.
Anywho, well. That's all I got. I ain't got nothing else for nobody. It's been an interesting week. This has been an interesting episode, but I'm glad we're here.
Yeah.
Yay. It's so fake.
Wow, we just all have the same energy at the end of this. Wrap this shit up, Mel. Wrap this shit up.
Y'all, we're human. Let's get
relatable.
It's Monday. Yeah,
All
it's
right.
Monday. We're human. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode. We appreciate you for listening to High Tea with Mel, Kelly, K. And you should go ahead and go put a 5 stars if you still gonna rock with us after this. And you can just leave a review that how you love us and why you love us, because we love you. If you want to share your shit show of a week, come on in and send us a good old email. Or Kelly has created a whole lovely submission page so you can be extra anonymous. And while you're at it, just go ahead and follow us on Instagram at hight_podcast and on Twitter at hightpod1. And take a look in the description for all things high tea. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week. Bye.